When typing a command, unless otherwise specified, it does the default behavior. For example, the ls command lists the current contents of a folder or directory. But that's not the only thing it can do. For example, you might want to show also hidden directories, but it doesn't show any hidden directories. So a directory in Linux starts with a dot. To show that, we have to use an argument, a, for all. So we can type ls, a, for all. Using that argument, the command behavior actually changes. So now what we see is all the hidden files and directories, so those have a dot in front. So a command isn't just like the command itself, but it can also have arguments. You might think why, so that is short for all, so that does the same. It shows all of the files, including the hidden ones. And hidden ones are of course with a dot in front. So commands can accept certain flags. For example, we can type this, help, and that will tell you help about the command. So any commands you can type, help. Different flags can be written or different arguments, and those change the behavior. For example, we can type ls, l, and that shows you the current files and directories, but also the time and date when they were last modified. So you can use commands with certain parameters, right? In this case, ls, and the parameter is l, or ls-a. You can also use several, so -a-l, and that combines them. By typing something, you can change the behavior of the default command. So ls will just list the files in the directory, but the behavior is different when we use any of those parameters. Now that isn't just for the ls command, there's many commands that have parameters. And to see parameters, you can check a manual page. So in order to know of course which parameters can be used, you can always use the manual page. When you type man space with the command name, for example, ls, it shows you the manual page with the parameters you can use. For example, it shows here you can use -a, change the size, you can list entries by columns. So let's try that -c and press Q to quit. So to quit the manual page we just press Q and type ls-c and you'll see, it outputs like this. Let's go back to the main page. So with the cursor keys, you can move around in the main page, so up and down with the cursor keys. For example, it can print sizes in certain formats, different parameters, right? It shows the file size, and capital S, source by file size. Let's try that. So ls, s, minus capital S and you'll see it sorts by file size. I might also want to list it, so L, and now it shows the biggest files on top, because we sort by file size and we show it as a list, L and capital S, source by the file size, as you saw in the manual, so you'll see the smallest file is on the bottom. So using flags, you can change the default behavior of any command. Let's try that for the date command, so we type mandate, see if it has any flags, and yes it does. So for example, here's the D. So let's try that date -D. You'll see, okay, that didn't exist, but there are different flags, right? So -U, here print in universal time. So it was doing that by default, so no change of behavior. So every command has this annual page, for example, mine echo, and you'll see the echo man page for the echo command, and for example, they have the flag version, so let's try that. And then echo -- version, so apparently, there is the version flag, which doesn't do anything, so let's try that for other commands. So mandate, let's see if that has any version flag, -- version, and you'll see those outputs the version of the date command. So apparently, date command has a version, and the -- version flag shows that. So that works for any command. You can change the command behavior using those arguments or flags. For example, let's see about pwd, and that doesn't have too many flags, it also has a version flag. Let's try that. You'll see, okay, that didn't work. So some of these flags might work, might not work, but any command has flags. Let's see cd. So for the change directory command, there are no flags, but many commands do have flags, and you can always look them up using the man commands. So for example, let's search man SSH, which allows you to remotely connect to a computer, and you'll see there's lots of different flags here, shown in blue, that you can use to change the default behavior of the command SSH. So this main idea, or this principle, applies to any command on the Linux system. Thank you guys, see you in the next video.